Great to be back here again, folks. It is the weekend edition, and there's so much going on this weekend that we support here at Mohsin Mortgage. We have the Polar Plunge with Special Olympics, so I wanted to give a shout out to Giovanni and his mom, and of course we have always supported the Race to Any Place event that's happening. Both are happening at Heinz Field, and of course we have wonderful dear friend Darnell Dinkins, the superstar. I just saw you on ESPN. Darnell, how are you?
I'm doing so good, Sarah. Thank you for having me back. And ESPN, the event was, really, really cool. With it all represented in the mentors, a guy who's absolutely phenomenal.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well,
oh, humble one that you are. You are.
Unfortunately, was able to play in the NFL for a little bit, and during my tenure of 10 years, I was able to play with the Giants, Ravens, Browns. And my last year was with the New Orleans Saints. And at the time, you don't really know what's transpiring. You just know doing your job. So when we were playing against the New England Patriots on Monday night, it was a great job, great game towards positioning us for playoffs that year. But ultimately, kind of slapping one of the better teams in the face, that evening.
Yes.
So sorry for all of the Boston listeners about the Patriots, who still won, which Tom Brady, by the way, is amazing.
He is amazing.
But during that time, you get to see something that you don't typically see, and we got a chance to kind of give it to the New England Patriots pretty good. I think we won 34-17 that night. And during that time, I caught a touchdown from Drew Brees on the 2-yard line, giving the play, and that was phenomenal. So now you fast forward from 2010 to 2018, as Drew Brees surpasses all quarterbacks and going to the all-time leading passer in the NFL. What he decides to do, but now, unbeknownst to anybody else, is he, during midway through the beginning of the season, he started going to the football place and getting books and balls made with everybody who he threw touchdowns to.
Yes.
And fortunately, I was one of the guys. So here I am sitting at home, coming from the facility, training some kids. And mind you, this year we had actually two state championship quarterbacks this year and one last year, who one's at Notre Dame now, the other one's going on to JMU, the other one's going on to a school unbeknownst. But all the things that they've learned come right from this guy, Drew Brees. And so Drew made these balls to give out to those particular players, and I happened to be one of them. So myself, Marcus Colston, and Damian Thomason all did an interview on ESPN Countdown right before the Saints played in their playoff game with the Rams for the division championship. And the segment was so amazing. They drove down from Boston, and they interviewed me for about they took about maybe 5 hours of just filming and production and questions, and it was just really cool just to see the setup, because they wanted to make this special about Drew Brees becoming the all-time leading passer in the NFL. And mind you, he's thrown to some great players. Damian Tomlinson was a great running back at San Diego. Marcus Colston was one of the all-time leading receivers at New Orleans. So there was no reason why Darnell Dinkins should have been included in that interview, but by the grace of God. Right, but by the grace of God, he considered me, and I'm just thankful to be considered in such a great component when he didn't have to, and he considered every single person who blocked for him, who caught a touchdown for him, and that goes to show the type of quality and character and content that Drew Brees has.
Well, here's the thing. You have great character. You're remarkable. We're very faith-based and family-based. So this is something, we share verses,
right.
Biblical verses every day almost,
right.
And so for our listeners, just to know what kind of person you are, because you have character. Character, they say, there's a saying, beauty fades, character stays. Not that you're not a beautiful human being.
Thank you.
But yeah.
I think I just turned purple right now.
But it's one of those things where in life, without fail, God will bring you together with the right people that are supposed to be in your life. And I so enjoy just sharing and learning from you, because we talk a lot about our personal and I don't call them failures. They're lessons in life that we learn. Sometimes they will throw you off for a little bit. Financially, we talked a little bit.
Absolutely.
And you're very brave, and you're also a great advisor. You said in life you have to share. When you fall, you have to share with people that you have fallen, and that you're getting back up and doing, bigger and better things with the right, even when it comes to finances. So we talked last night, I believe it was last night, we talked a little bit about finances, and you're looking at, purchasing a home. Right.
And even in terms of the markets, in terms of the listeners who's listening right now, everybody had their own financial struggles. Whether it's somebody worrying about a bill, somebody worrying about getting a home, first time FHA loan, somebody who's in a business and trying to figure out how to get it done, somebody's trying to start a business, start an LLC, all the things that goes on to it, and you gotta first and foremost count the cost of whatever. There's 24 hours in a day, right? 160 hours in a week, 744 hours in most months, and 8,760 hours in a year. What are you putting your time to, right? And that's just the type of insight that you have to prepare every single day. If you're sleeping, if you're sleeping 7 hours a day, that's times 8, times 7, that's 49 hours out your week. If you're getting 8 hours of work a day, 40 hours, that's 40 hours out your week. So right now you got about 96 hours accounted for in your 160-hour week. What are you doing? And so I try to start educating myself past some of my former real estate ventures, and now I'm at a place where I've regained so much in my walk. But once again, educate myself, because if you look at how the world was made, how life was made, it started with the Word. And if you believe in that, then you need to educate yourself by reading the Word. And so once I started reading and started getting into more detail about the slip-ups of different business deals, it allowed me to get to a point where now I'm ready to move forward again. So Sarah, as you know, I've spoken with you and kind of moving into that whole real estate world again, and looking at the home purchases and all the details of it. People have to first get quality content and not think that information out on the internet is valid. You got to go to a source, and you're a source. You're a resource. You're somebody you can call up, you can physically and tangibly touch and say, hey, I need help in this situation. And that's the beginning of solving most problems, is confessing or admitting that you need help. You're a doctor in your field, and I think every listener that's listening need to make sure they take hold of that so they can venture too. So as I navigate into this new space, or old space once again, with the purchasing the homes, I'm definitely excited about working with you on some things moving forward.
Well, I am so excited because of the fact that you're a person who has the warmest heart.
Thank you.
And sometimes people come to you with the fact that you are in a position where you can do many things, but they are not advising you properly, and you may have invested in faith to support maybe an investment idea that didn't work out, which created some issues, because you're faith-based, because you truly believe the good in someone. Sometimes that falls through, and that happened in the past. So what I feel very grateful for is the fact that my brother and I know you so well, and the fact that you come from such a good place, and it isn't unusual when someone has such a big heart who is willing and open to be advised in the wrong way to invest in a business that certainly didn't work out, that created some problems. So it was done out of a good thing, from a good heart, a big open heart, who accepted my challenge for the Dick's Half Marathon.
Which I don't know what I was thinking.
Are you trading?
Yeah, I'm trading on picking up the fork and keep eating. So, but I really have worked on been playing basketball more than anything, and trying to cut back. I got to the point where I stepped on a scale and I was 285 pounds. I'm like, oh, hold up.
Good. Keep going up.
Eating too many Oreos right now. I'm just, if it's Oreos and milk, it's just kind of it gets my heart. So, but it's been really good just kind of preparing for the challenge. I mean, I love the fact that you and your brother have such good hearts from the time that we met and to the point right now. There's so much that we all can still accomplish together. But once again, it's about the power of the word, and what we just speak, me and you, over the radio airwaves, is just amazing. I don't know who these messages are going to touch or why, but I do know this, that it was God sent that we found each other. It was God sent that we get a chance to sit down and speak and minister to each other, and then tell our stories that should be testimonies to someone else. And I don't know how it's going to touch them, but I do know that since I've met you guys, and to kind of bring it all to fruition, when we were meeting, I happened to the time we officially sat and met, I seen an individual who was part of an old business venture. And at that time, you could be upset or mad, but God allowed me to show him the grace in which God shows me every day. And if I could wake up and have an opportunity to make a change, then I'd rather do it being led by God's way than by my own. Because he says in Isaiah 40 and 31, for if you hope in the Lord, he will renew your strength. He will give you wings where you soar like an eagle, where you can run and not become faint, you can walk and not become weary. And when I really think about that scripture, I really think about all the things that we hope for in the midst of a day. People hope for new jobs. People hope for new houses. They hope for their business not to fail. They hope for financial security. But sometimes it don't happen. And if I only believe and base my things on what I can see, then I miss the true power of being able to believe in something beyond me. And that's where God, I think, comes back with 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, for we walk by faith and not by sight. And having people like you and your brother in place allows people who are trying to believe in something beyond what somebody saying no, you give them that yes. You give them the information to not have to walk down the same path. And for that, that's powerful beyond belief, because you're allowing people to believe again. And I thank you and your brother